Weekend Central right here on TV3. We come to you live from our studios here at Adesa, Wakanda, and Accra. We're also live on DSTV channel 279. My name is Judith Brown.
The bulletin is equally streaming across the world on Facebook at TV3 Ghana, where your thoughts and comments are welcome. My name is Godwin Asidiba. We'll take a look at the headlines. Coming up this afternoon, the National Security Coordinator says new collaborative approach to combat illegal mining involving traditional rulers will achieve greater results.
Also this afternoon, as the world marks World Breastfeeding Week 2025, we highlight the emotional challenges and cultural barriers many new mothers continue to face.
And with all of Ghana's ambassadors expected to meet strict key performance indices, which will include promoting made in Ghana products, the services in their host countries, we will engage an international relations expert on how this will boost investments. Let's begin the program from here. All of Ghana's ambassadors are expected to meet strict key performance indices to be handed them by President Mahama, which will include promoting made in Ghana products and services in their host countries. This, according to the Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, as part of the new policies the government intends to roll out to boost Ghana's economic diplomacy. The minister made this revelation at the launch of the 4th edition of the Made in Ghana Bazaar from the 5th to 7th of September, which aims to sell and promote Ghana to the diplomatic community.
There are 5 new policy interventions we have rolled out to show our commitment to our belief in Made in Ghana. The first one is the new reform to introduce, for the first time in our country's history, KPIs for our ambassadors. No ambassador henceforth will be dispatched out of Ghana without clear KPIs that they must meet. And when you peruse the document, you will see that promoting Made in Ghana under our economic diplomacy blueprint is an imperative. Secondly, we have instructed all our diplomatic missions that it is now compulsory to host national days. On the 6th of March every year, it is compulsory for all our 71 diplomatic missions to host our national days. A key highlight, an uncompromising feature, must be the promotion of Made in Ghana products as they host our national days. Number 3, here at the ministry, we have decided that all state events, all receptions, we have instructed our protocol department that only Made in Ghana food will be served. Only Made in Ghana food. Number 4, we have also rolled out a new policy where every humanitarian donation that this ministry makes to the various theaters of conflict, theaters of disturbance, of turbulence, we will only send Made in Ghana products. So when we say Made in Ghana, we mean it. It is not empty rhetoric. We are demonstrating that as a ministry. Number 5, the new policy is that in every procurement that this ministry carries out, we first ask ourselves, is there any Ghanaian company that has the capacity, the track record to deliver that good or provide that service? If the answer is yes, priority is given to that Made in Ghana company.
Let's extend this conversation further, and joining us on Zoom is Professor Daniel Drammanic Kiposi, who is with the Legon Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy at the University of Ghana. Thank you so much for joining us. How feasible is it to accurately measure the effectiveness of an ambassador in promoting exports or investment?
Thank you very much. I think this is a very good day. It's a very good policy. It will certainly boost our diplomatic relation abroad. And as you rightly said it, I think the key performance indicators or key performance metrics that the ministry or His Excellency President is giving out to the diplomat, it's not something that is so difficult to do. Diplomatically, it's feasible. And because the ministry has done a lot of groundwork in respect to this economic diplomacy, almost all the 71, 72 foreign missions, whatever good made in Ghana that is peculiar to that country, the list is there. If you go to Ghana mission in Tel Aviv, the goods that Ghana want to promote are there. Spain, they are there. Malta. So that groundwork has been done. It is only calling on the ambassadors to take the metrics serious and promote the items that have been allocated. In some area, it's promotion of shea butter. In some area, promotion of cocoa butter product. In some countries like Dubai, Emirates, the key point there is gold. So groundwork has been done. I believe that that is very, very feasible and that is doable for our ambassadors and high commissioners that the president will give them the tax.
Right,
it's
but
achievable.
What are the potential diplomatic implications of assigning economic KPIs like promoting made in Ghana products to ambassadors?
I do not think that that will have any diplomatic challenges. For instance, if you are Ghana ambassador to South Korea and you are going to have Ghana event, like the minister rightly said, Ghana National Day, and we invite other diplomats in Korea, including the host Korean politicians. So we serve them Ghana food. We provide them our banku, we provide them our fufu, we provide them our ple. So this is something that is acceptable in diplomatic practice. And so if Ghana is doing it, I do not think that it will create any problem. I think we are rather getting our diplomacy right by promoting our local product abroad. It will not create any diplomatic challenge. That is done in other countries, and I think Ghana can equally do so.
But from what you said, how common is it globally for ambassadors to be assessed using economic performance indicators?
Yes, the indicators here is not something that is completely new. I think we are just putting emphasis because the essence of sending an ambassador is to represent your president abroad. These are representative of His Excellency John Mahama abroad. And the president is saying that my key economic diplomacy is that we should promote made in Ghana goods and services. So it's not only the goods, but the services. You can't, if you're in Korea, you're able to create an environment where Ghanaian services that are needed in the health sector or the teaching sector, you promote and you're able to create room for Ghanaians to go there. That is the service. In terms of the good, we are promoting Ghanaian goods so that more of the people in that country will get to know that this is the food from Ghana by even possibly creating a restaurant services. So Ghana ambassador to Korea can support Ghanaians and other citizens in Korea to be able to put up a Ghanaian restaurant, and then we'll see Ghanaian food that is promoting food, that is promoting gastro-diplomacy. So it is something that is not very completely new, and it's not something that I think will be very difficult because Ghana has already created the baseline. We identify every foreign mission and what is peculiar. So I think the KPI is to just make our ambassadors have a task that as you are going to this mission, you are expected to be able to achieve A, B, C. And at the end of the day, at the end of the year, like in civil service, we have what we call civil service performance appraisal. They will appraise these ambassadors based on those KPIs. And I think that is very appropriate, and I think that will not create any diplomatic tension or any other. Yeah, it's okay in diplomatic practice. It's fine.
How sustainable is this model of diplomacy for a long term in Ghana?
Yes, sustainability may be a change, may be a challenge. Not really, but I think it's all about us continuing. In foreign policy, we say that the best foreign policy is when there is continuity of policy dimensions. So all that we will think is that this is the policy that this current administration is putting emphasis on KPIs. What will be sustainable is that in the event of any other government that come in, they just need to continue the same foreign policy, putting emphasis on the Ghanaian diplomat to be mindful of their performance indicators, and they will be judged or they will be assessed based on those indices. So it is all about every government trying to adhere to this, so that, because I think it's a way of making them more efficient and more effective in their diplomatic career. And I believe that we can sustain it.
Thank you so much for your time. Really insightful revelations there. We have been engaging Professor Daniel Drammanic Kiposi, who is with the Legon Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy at the University of Ghana.
Now, away from that, breastfeeding is natural, but for many mothers, it is not always easy. From myths passed down through generations to pressure from friends and family, the journey can feel more confusing than comforting. Now, as Ghana marks World Breastfeeding Week 2025, Christabel Success-Trevor takes a closer look at the beliefs, the barriers, and the bold women pushing it through all.
Every drop of breast milk is said to be a gift of love. But for some mothers, what should be instinctive is instead filled with second guessing. The myths start early, sometimes even before the child is born. Some say breastfeeding makes your breast sag. Others claim some women do not produce enough milk if their breasts are small. And some insist a crying baby means breast milk is not satisfying enough. Joyce Banfo Minta is a first-time mother of an almost 3-month-old baby. Joyce heard all kinds of warnings when she gave birth, especially about her ability to breastfeed. Despite the pressure, Joyce decided to stick with exclusive breastfeeding.
So some of the misconception was that breastfeeding hurts, and small breast produces little milk, and also your breast size changes. Actually, there's nothing like that. And how it hurts too, I haven't experienced that. That is when you do it the correct way.
Across hospitals and community clinics, health professionals are pushing back against the myths that stop many women from trusting their own bodies. They say much of the harm comes from good intentions passed down with little knowledge.
The size of your breast does not matter regarding breastfeeding. It's about the breast tissue. What is important is that you should get the position and attachments of baby to the breast perfectly, and you are good to go. There are some few things that can play a role, that is psychological trauma, and all that can affect the flow. But with support, you are good to go to breastfeed your baby.
According to the World Health Organization, exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months provides everything a baby needs, including water. But that message often clashes with deeply rooted traditional practices.
Breast milk is the way to go, because breast milk has been shown that it helps with good optimal development. Baby have good IQ, babies who are breastfed fortunately grow very well, help reduce under 5 mortality in the newborn. So exclusive breastfeeding basically means that you are feeding your baby only with breast milk. Therefore, there's no need to add water. In addition, you are going to breastfeed for baby 6 months and beyond. That is 2 years. So after the 6th month, the breast milk is not enough for the baby. Therefore, you have to start with a complementary feed.
While education is key, it is only one part of the story. Many mothers, especially working-class women, face a tougher battle: how to keep breastfeeding when they return to work.
Mothers are not supposed to choose between their work and then breastfeeding. Both of them are equally important. So we are living in the 21st century. Mothers are living a very fast-paced life. And one thing that helps is the breast pump. So if you get the breast pump, and then you have to start pumping even before you start work. You can start pumping and then store your breast milk in your freezer. It can stay in your freezer for up to a year, but the best is 6 months.
Across Ghana, Most women work in the informal sector where maternity leave is not enforced and breastfeeding breaks are non-existent. Even in formal workplaces, many women say there are no dedicated breastfeeding rooms or time allowances. Then, there is public stigma. Some women face shaming or disapproving looks when they breastfeed outside their homes in public.
Breastfeeding is actually a skill that mothers have to learn. After baby has come out, how to position baby, how baby is supposed to hold onto your breast to ensure getting the proper latch. It is one of the key ways to preventing a lot of breastfeeding challenges. If mothers are not supported to get babies to latch properly at the breast, it causes a lot of challenges and then they eventually give up on breastfeeding altogether. Breastfeeding is a shared responsibility and not just for the mother alone.
But for others, breastfeeding in public is a necessity, not a choice.
It's not bad because you have to feed the child. So you can't say because you are in trouble, you won't give the child the...
Once na akwadanu or Felice ebi a condom. Ebi also who Felice or man for 10 minutes to say you are sharing or an answer be to me you no phone. But I call you say at the end of the day I did that.
At the heart of this year's campaign is the reminder that breastfeeding is more than a personal choice. It is a public responsibility. With the theme, Prioritize Breastfeeding, Create Sustainable Support Systems, World Breastfeeding Week 2025 calls on governments, employers, families and communities to build systems that allow mothers to breastfeed with dignity, ease and support. Because, in the end, it is not just about the milk, it is about belief. Believe that your body is enough, believe that you are supported, and believe that in the face of myths and pressure, you can do what is best for your child. Christabel Success Treve, TV3 News, Accra.
Breastfeeding is indeed not just about the milk. We're going to go on the phone lines now and speak to Olivia Maunyo Timpo. She is the Deputy Director for Nutrition at the Ghana Health Service. She's joining us for more details on this. Good afternoon, Madam. Now, let's look at this year's theme, which is to prioritize breastfeeding and create sustainable support systems. What national policies are currently in place to create those sustainable support systems for breastfeeding in the country?
Good afternoon, listeners. And thank you for this opportunity to share what the service is doing regarding the World Breastfeeding Week for 2025. We have several policies in place. We have the National Nutrition Policy, which covers infant and young child feeding policy and strategies and aims at guiding interventions for promoting optimal infant and young child feeding practices. And we are implementing the baby-friendly hospital initiative in collaboration with UNICEF and the World Health Organization. And this initiative promotes 10 steps to successful breastfeeding, which includes early initiation of breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding, and providing skills for health workers to appropriately counsel mothers on breastfeeding and to support breastfeeding. And we also have a regulation in place, LI 1667, that prohibits the marketing of breast milk substitutes. Enforcement of this code is crucial to protecting breastfeeding from commercial influences and ensuring that mothers receive accurate and unbiased information. Last but not the least is the maternity leave provisions. The current Labour Act 651 guarantees 12 weeks of maternity leave, which provides some time off for mothers to be able to do the exclusive breastfeeding that we are recommending. There's ongoing advocacy to extend the duration of to 14 weeks. These are some of the policies in place to protect promote and support breastfeeding.
Now, we keep doing the advocacy to promote breastfeeding every year, but it appears that the impact rates remain low. What has the service identified as a gap hindering uptake by mothers?
We can't categorically say that our advocacy has not had an impact. Changing behavior takes time, and the generation continue to change. Modernization and urbanization all influence behavior, and so we continue to do our part, and we employ you, media, to support us to do more. We have issues around knowledge deficit. While there's awareness of breastfeeding benefits amongst the population, comprehensive knowledge among nursing mothers and some healthcare professionals on the proper breastfeeding practices, duration and management of common difficulties remains limited. This knowledge gap extends to understanding that breast milk alone is sufficient for the first 6 months, even in hot climates. And so we need to do more in terms of ensuring that the people have the right information. We have social cultural barriers and traditional practices that also impact our breastfeeding rates. We have deep-rooted cultural beliefs and practices that often undermine breastfeeding. All these would have to be addressed. And key among the challenges are the workplace challenges. For working mothers, insufficient maternity leave, lack of private and suitable spaces for breastfeeding, or being able to express breast milk at work makes it difficult for working mothers to do the exclusive breastfeeding till 6 months. And so they are compelled to introduce other things. And these are some of the few reasons why we are able to attain the rates that we aim or we are trying hard to attain.
Right, many thanks for your time. Olivia Maunyo Timpo is a Deputy Director for Nutrition at the Ghana Health Service. She's been bringing us all the details as regards to the National Breastfeeding Week 2025.
Let's now focus on hospitals. The Minister of Health, Kwabena Mintah-Kando, has announced plans to roll out a public-private partnership initiative in Ghana's health sector. Under this framework, hospitals that choose to collaborate with government will be required to adhere to pricing structures outlined in the Fees and Charges Act as approved by Parliament. He made this known during an inspection of several health facilities in Accra aimed at assessing the operational conditions.
Long delays in patient care and critical shortages of equipment. At the Achimota Hospital, out of 9 doctors reportedly assigned to duty, only 3 were present. Frustrated patients shared accounts of waiting for hours without receiving treatment. A similar situation played out at the Ghana North Municipal Hospital, where patients voiced their disappointment over extended delays. Hospital management attributed the situation to a severe lack of equipment.
There's pressure in room 1. We are all going there. I've been here for about an hour and 30 minutes.
I've been here since 4:45 a.m. I was supposed to go to room 7, but I was told the doctor wasn't around.
In response, Health Minister Kwabena Mintah-Kando announced that the government will begin a retooling initiative. Health facilities that choose to partner with the government will be required to adhere to pricing structures approved by Parliament. He also reaffirmed his commitment to working closely with hospital leadership to tackle these challenges.
It is not sustainable for government to continue to provide equipment for health facilities across the country. And so in as much as government will continue to supply some equipment, we are going to go the PPP way. That is government's direction on retooling. So anybody listening to me, if you are interested, we have directed at all hospitals and the Director General at the Ghana Health Service must direct all PPP arrangement to the ministry so that they will have an arrangement with the facilities, they will have a proper profit sharing arrangement with the facilities, and their fees and charges will be subjected to the Fees and Charges Act. Their fees will be approved by Parliament to be part of the conditions, the criteria for choosing a private partner. So it is not as if we are privatizing the government health facilities. No.
This visit forms part of the ministry's broader agenda to reset and revitalize healthcare delivery across the nation.
Now, in a renewed effort to combat illegal mining, commonly known as Galamsey, the government is adopting a multi-agency approach that actively involves traditional leaders to ensure sustainability and effectiveness. Addressing the National House of Chiefs, the National Security Coordinator, Abdul Razak Osman, expressed optimism that his collaborative strategy will invigorate the fight against Galamsey.
Evolved from an environmental problem into a national security risk or crisis. When community can no longer drink from its river, when farmlands become wasteland, when the young people see no future except in the destruction of mining pits, we have not just as an environmental disaster, we have a perfect breeding ground for criminality and social unrest. Under relevant sections of the Mineral and Mining Act, illegal mining is a criminal offense. We do agree. But law enforcement without community buy-in mostly become tools of oppression rather than protection. This is why your power as traditional leaders become indispensable. Your people respect the land because you taught us to know that land is sacred. They will protect it if you command it. They will choose sustainable livelihood because you require it of us. You are not only rulers of people, you are guardians of the land. Government is determined to fight this canker. A multi-agency structure referred to as NIMOS, that is the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, has been established by government. We are humbly urging your Royal Majesties to support the mandate of this to enable it fight it well. Previous mechanism has failed because we had concentrated only on law enforcement, but now we want to do it as a multi-coordinated agency approach.
You're so watching Weekend Central. Going for a very first break. We'll be back with more news. Do stay with us.
Reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle.
From the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital.
From the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Reporting from Sunyani.
From the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds. The moments that potentially alters the course of our nation and the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust, impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission. This is 3 News, leaders in breaking news, exclusive interviews, facts and analysis on TV, radio, online and digital. 3 News, first in news.
Ken Central, I am Godwin Asidiba. Parliament has approved the one-year transitional mining lease agreement between the government of Ghana and Aboso Goldfields Limited for gold mining operations at Damang in the Wassa West District of the Western Region. The agreement, which is set to expire in April 2025, prohibits the company from any further extension or mortgage. Christian Yali has more.
The agreement explicitly prohibits further extension, transfer, mortgage or related transactions after the expiration date of April 2026. Initially, government had wanted to take over operations of the mine after the initial expiration date of April 18, 2025. However, after consultations, it agreed to extend it by 1 year under a strict non-renewable term.
The governor of Ghana has caused to be laid before Parliament through the minister responsible for lands and natural resources a 1-year transitional mining lease agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana and Aboso Goldfields Limited for the mining of a gold at Daman in the Wassa West District of the Western Region without the option, and I emphasize, without the option of further extension, transfer, mortgage, or any other transaction after April 2026.
Accordingly, this House approves a 1-year transitional mining lease agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and Aboso Goldfields Limited, for the mining of gold at Damai on 52.39 kilometers square in the Wassa West District of the Western Region without the option of a further extension, transfer, mortgage, or any other transaction after April 2026.
Now, Parliament for some weeks now has changed its sit-in time that was usually in the morning to afternoon. But this has sparked some concerns among members of Parliament, with some questioning the impact on their health, productivity and effectiveness. Evelyn Tingma reports some MPs also see it as a necessary step towards modernizing the legislative process.
The sit-in time for Parliament was 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. until recently it was changed to 2 p.m. and beyond. According to the leadership of the majority side of the House, it was to accommodate the busy schedules of MPs and MP ministers.
The reason behind it is we have a lot of committee meetings and we have a lot of engagements. We receive a lot of visitors. We do a lot of lobbying. So it's assumed that as a member of Parliament, from 10 o'clock to 1 p.m., we have to be able to go through all this. The minister too can go to his office, work from morning till 1. Then we all move to the chamber to do the chamber work.
Comfort Doyo says even though she prefers the 10 a.m. sitting, it is a decision taken by leadership. But some have questioned the effectiveness of the new sitting time. It was a normal parliamentary sitting day and it was past 2 p.m. Yet the House had not begun sitting. School children who were in the House to observe proceedings waited much longer. Then 2:30 p.m. the First Deputy Speaker walked into the chamber to start proceedings.
Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana.
On another day, proceedings started past 3 o'clock, and consistently so, raising concerns of when the day sitting would be adjourned. Yet, Majority Chief Whip Roxanne Nelson Dafiamakwo insists the 2 p.m. sitting is helping.
No parliament sits with full capacity, so we still get the numbers to take decisions whenever we want to take any decision.
But some MPs have expressed reservations about the new timing, noting it could exacerbate existing health issues.
A lot of us have underlying medical issues. You cannot eat food and just go and lie down. You know the traffic in town. Before you get home, around 8, 10, 9, and you cannot eat that way. At the time for me and many others, should be reversed back to 10.
At the end of the day, we go home at night. I would have wished that even though they wanted to cure the problem of, let's say, those who are ministers, having time to do their ministerial jobs before coming to Parliament, it creates yet another problem, even virtually uncertainty. And as you may see, sometimes we don't even start at 2. If we started at, say, 11 or 12, then by 5, we would have closed.
Even though the MPs see it as a necessary step towards modernizing the legislative process, some do not think the afternoon sitting is as effective as the morning one.
It's not effective because look at the room. Normal people who are in the room now who are supposed to take the issue. All because in the past, by 10 o'clock, you're here. And so all we need is the numbers. Even though we may say people are still at the committee meetings or people are doing other things around, we still need the numbers in the room.
The change in sitting time may be contentious. Well, Parliament has risen, so MPs will only have to wait and see what the sitting time will be in the next meeting of the House, since Parliament is a master of its rules and procedures. Evelyn Tinkma, TV3 News, Parliament House.
Ghana and La Côte d'Ivoire have constructed a monumental boundary pillar at Newtown in the Jomro district of the Western region. The move forms part of the implementation of the Maritime Boundary Dispute ruling by the International Tribunal of the Law of Sea between the two countries.
The African Union Border Program that was adopted in Addis Ababa in 2007 set in motion a bold continental vision to transform borders from sources of conflict into instruments of peace and integration. Both Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire have risen to the occasion. The two countries have established a joint technical committee for the reaffirmation of land boundary and the implementation of the decision of the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea. That's for short, on the maritime boundary, and have taken concrete steps to jointly reaffirm the common land boundary. The process assists to underscore the point that well-defined and well-managed boundaries are not barriers. Today's occasion is about laying a renewed foundation for peace, mutual respect, and sustainable development between our two great nations.
The demarcation to show the sovereignty of the two countries. That's his first message. And the second message is to show to the population along the boundary that the separation between the two countries, this boundary is not important. What is important is the exchange between cross-border cooperation between the two communities, all the communities along our boundary with Ghana. That is very important. The key message to the population.
Now, the Office of the National Chief Imam has called for peace in Boko and its enclave. The Chief Imam made the appeal after a youth national forum held by the Ministry of Youth and Development.
Boko has been in turmoil for years due to a renewed chieftaincy conflict. This conflict has taken a toll on the community, particularly affecting women, children, and various aspects of daily life, including education, healthcare, and businesses. The government, over the past week, announced that it is shifting from peacekeeping to peace enforcement in Boko and other affected communities following a military deployment. This follows a recent surge in violence. At an Islamic dialogue, the Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, along with the Chief Imam, through his spokesperson, called for calm across the northern part of the country.
This is Chief Imam West, and I'm quoting it, that we should give him some few months. He will put it into serious prayer, and we shall encounter, or we will see peace in Boko. So the Chief Imam is calling for calm. The Chief Imam is calling for all youth within the northern sector, within the Ghanaian northern sector, to please exercise patience. You know, you see, you're the formness and you're the befa so. So what Chief Imam believes, say, he has intensified himself and his other imams to take this situation into prayer.
The CEO of the National Youth Authority, Osman Ayariga, also called on the youth to take advantage of government policies.
Having a national cleanup exercise across all districts. We'll be visiting the churches to also have a religious encounter within the churches. So basically the Chief Imam advised us that the youth of this country should remain calm, they shouldn't fall to any form of substance abuse, and they should also take advantage of the various youth interventions that would create jobs and well-being for the youth as a whole.
You're still watching Weekend Central. We're going for a very second break. We'll be back with more news. Please don't go away.
road sites and sanitize lorry terminals to improve hygiene in the community. The municipal chief executive for Asukwa, Amo Kamel, commended Akuma FM for its dedication to community development.
We are glad that Akuma FM, Media General at Asukwa, have joined this train. I am very happy because they have introduced a lot of things on board. Their staff are with us, joining the good people of Asukwa Municipal as we do this massive cleanup. We know that cleanliness is next to godliness. So I'll urge them, they should always come and support so that every day, every month, we will be able to do this massive cleanup. And I'll urge those people living in the municipal should always at least clean their frontage. If you are not able to join us today, you can clean your frontage. You can clean in front of where you sell your business, where you do your business, where you stay.
The general manager of Akuma 87.9 FM, Nana Osei, emphasized the media's role in driving social change.
These exercises we are doing in this whole month is part of our 6th anniversary as a station. You also know that today actually marks the National Sanitation Day. And so since we are part of the nation and we need to also be part of this national exercise, we decided that as part of our anniversary, we'll join the Asukwa Municipal Assembly to do this cleanup exercise so that whoever is watching or listening to us will know that we don't only talk, but for us as a station, we are committed to development and in any time we are ready to be part.
As part of the campaign, residents are being urged to adopt sustainable sanitation habits to keep their surroundings clean. The Asukwa Municipal Assembly reaffirmed its commitment to improving quality of life through ongoing development projects. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Now, Mount Carmel Senior High School, the only all-girls senior high school in the Bono East region, is embattled with infrastructure deficits spanning from uncompleted dormitories to compromised laboratories. Now, this infrastructure deficit is not only affecting their teaching and learning, but their comfortability. This is a report by Belinda Tete.
Imagine having to sleep in a compromised classroom for a dormitory, while there's a full capacity dormitory that is almost 80% complete yet abandoned. This is the daily realities of the Mount Carmel Senior High School. The school is mostly forced to compromise classrooms for dormitories. This was initially built with the purpose of a classroom block to serve for learning and teaching for the pupils of Mount Carmel Senior High School, but as you can see, have currently been converted into a dormitory block due to a 80% complete yet neglected dormitory block in the school.
The girls are many and we have lack of structures, infrastructure everywhere. The girls are sleeping only in the classrooms, so we need more help in Macedonia. We are asking all of you to come and support us in our needs.
As if not enough, students are forced to stand while eating their dining food due to yet another abandoned state-of-the-art dining facility.
Our dining hall is also, that was awarded for about 10 years ago now, it's still not completed. So if these two projects are completed, they will have a good accommodation for our students, and they are the critical areas.
Ashanti Beyonce recount how these numerous challenges being faced by students is affecting their studies and comfortability.
We have improvised science laboratories. We don't have proper science laboratories. We have to pay sometimes to conduct practicals for hours. It's all they're all part of the challenges we are facing. And then we also don't have proper road networks. Our road networks are very bad. The place is very dusty. When it rains or when the Harmattan season lands, we find it very difficult to work. Things become dirty and a whole lot of things. Our dining hall, sometimes we have to stand and then
They are urging for government intervention to improve the current state of the school.
We want the stakeholders PTA, the government, to come to our aid and complete these abandoned projects, and also build new sanitary area for our students, and then tar our road network.
We are urging the government to help us with all these projects so that the coming batches will also enjoy life, the life that we didn't get to enjoy.
The challenges faced by Our Lady of Mount Carmel Senior High School is among the numerous challenges being faced by various senior high schools in the Bono East region, which prompt substantive measures to improve educational structure of the region.
Cashew farmers in the Bono East region have welcomed moves to construct a state-of-the-art cashew processing factory in the area. The sword-cutting ceremony performed by the Minister for Trade and Agribusiness, Elizabeth Ofosu-Ijare, was met with overwhelming joy and a renewed sense of proposal from the farming community.
For decades, cashew farming in Ghana has focused almost exclusively on the nuts, leaving the juicy, nutrient-rich cashew apple to rot on the ground as waste. This practice has not only been a source of significant post-harvest loss, but has also limited farmers' income. The new factory aims to change this narrative entirely by transforming the perishable fruit into high-value products like juices, jams, and other consumables.
I've always been thinking of how I'll process the cashew apple so that we can have value extension for our cashew. And so today, I'm here to cut a sword for the construction of a factory to process cashew apple. And I'm hoping to finish this early enough for the next season. And so the engineers are here, the contractor is here, we're about to start. The original fruit that we've decided to process is cashew apple, but we will tweak the machine so that in lean season we can process other fruits like watermelon, and so we want to make sure that it's running around the clock.
The news has brought immense joy to farmers who believed their hard work will finally be rewarded. The factory is expected to not only create a stable, year-round market for the cashew apple, but also generate hundreds of direct and indirect jobs in processing, packaging, and distribution.
We, the farmer, we feel very happy and we are proud now. We know that the cashew that we are farming is not going to be useless for us. So we are going to gain some profit or some money on it.
We are late because this will create jobs for the youth as well, and we will benefit immensely from our labor.
Local authorities have reiterated their commitment to collaborate closely with ministers to see the successful completion of the factory. They are further urging investors to seize new opportunities in the region.
This project will create a job for the youth, the community around us, because these days to get a job is difficult. So if someone is willing to bring you a job, I think we have to accept it in a good fit. If you have any project that you want to come and establish here, it means that Nana will get a place for you. It's available. So every investor is welcome to Tanabuaza.
Right, so that's how we bring an end to the bulletin. But later tonight, we will be bringing you a comprehensive coverage of the national vigil in relation to Daddy Lumba, a legendary when it comes to high live music.
Serious legendary.
So yes, do stick and stay with us here on TV3 and to the rest of our programming, and look out for that tonight at 6 p.m. I'll definitely be there to serve you with absolutely nothing but the best. I'm Godwin Asiliva.
And I am Judith Brown. Make sure to tune in to TV3 as he said, and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye.